Well, hello, friends. Welcome back to the program with me and JT.
Good. Hello, friends.
All right. Today we're going to hack on Jakt, the programming language, and we are going to tackle fields in the inheritance context. So we've already done 2 videos on JT's channel about inheritance, and we're going to continue in that vein. And that's as far as I had planned what to say. So I guess let's start by coming up with an example of what we're trying to do and take it from there. So, do you have a good idea for an example, JT?
That's a good one. I think what we could do is start by giving ourselves a parent class that has a field in it, and then so we can already inherit from parent classes and child classes. So the last
Mm-hmm.
2 videos that we worked on, we can create a child class that inherits from parent class. We can call into the methods of the parent from the child, and we have polymorphism. So we've got a fair bit working, but one of the things we don't have working is creating an instance of the child and being able to access a field in the parent. So I think that, yeah, something like this, and then we create an instance of the child, and let's say that the parent's field is public. That should be visible as a like an access through the child, right? Something like
Okay.
this.
So, something like that.
Yeah.
All right. So, this currently does not work because you can't construct like this. Child doesn't have a constructor that takes the field X. And as far as this is concerned, child doesn't have a field X. So, these are both problems that we need to solve. And I guess this is a decent starting off point, right?
Yeah, that's great.
So, what do we need to do to get this working? Should we start with just um, teaching it how to do the .x access and leave the constructor for last?
It seems like we're going to have to do that in the opposite order. We'll have to do the constructor first, unfortunately, because
All
we
right.
won't be able to create values without the without it.
Sure. No, I just meant which part to attack first.
Sure,
But
sure.
I guess maybe doing the constructor first means that we can already test the program before implementing the field access. So
Right.
you're right. My idea was dumb. Let's do it the other way.
They probably both would have worked.
Yeah, but it's nice to have a milestone sooner. So okay, fine. Let's do the constructor then. So we need to instantiate um, when we instantiate the implicit constructor for the child class, we need to also prepend, I guess, all of the fields from the parent class, from all parent classes.
Right.
So if you had something obnoxious like this, like grandparent,
Right.
oh no, string, then you would have to say, oh no, oh yes, like that, right? So
Right. Right.
yeah, that's this. I just want to say for the record, eventually you'll be able to instantiate the child without having to also initialize every parent class. But we're just going to start here with implicit constructors that take all fields and all accumulated parent classes.
Yeah.
But I
And
guess, yeah. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, if, in case people are wondering, like, why that is, currently the way that construction works in Yacht is basically there's only one way to construct it, and that is just to use the default constructor. And if you want a different kind of construction, what you have to do is create a static method on the class that calls the constructor for you, passing it whatever, whatever fields in whatever manner you want for your custom construction. So in this particular case, there isn't a like a C++ equivalent of custom constructor where it's a specifically named thing that has specific additional properties to it. So
Right.
you do have to just spell it all out.
So we could do, we have this pattern already, right? Like That's what you were
That's right.
talking about?
Yeah, that's right.
Make me one. Yeah, but let's roll without that, just for the
Yep.
simplicity of the test case.
Yep. Yep.
But I do think having the grandparent already here means that we have to implement this properly, so that's probably good to leave it in. So, all right. So somewhere we probably create implicit constructors. Um, so I'm going to search for implicit constructor, all right, and then hope that good name use throughout the code base is going to save me. There are two
Yep.
instances of implicit constructor, and they are both calls, so I am already screwed. Okay.
All right. Let me see if I can start poking around too while I'm at
Constructor.
it. I want to say it's during the. Okay, let's stop following you
Yeah.
so I can look around.
Create construct. I guess when we type check a struct,
That's right. That's when it's going to happen.
um, is that in the pre-decal version?
Yep. Well, let's see. So the pre-decal, just for the video while we're looking around, is
Mm-hmm.
it's just getting the shape of the thing, understanding the shape so we know its type. And later, when methods refer to it, we know what fields it has and can make sure that any field access is properly checked. So we kind of have two passes over the struct. We do create a checked function. Oh, this looks very suspiciously like a constructor. If you look in type check struct pre-decal, scroll down about halfway, you'll see a big checked function in the middle of it.
Okay.
A little bit further.
A little bit further. Oh,
There you
here.
go. Yep.
All
That looks
right.
suspiciously like a constructor.
Let's see. The name is func.name, but no. But this is iterating over methods.
Ah, then
Hmm.
let's go a little bit further.
Maybe implicit constructor should be camel case. Okay, implicit constructor camel case is a thing.
Okay.
Or not camel case, title case, Pascal case. And here we are making one. And
All
we
right,
are
cool.
in type check struct constructor. Looky there.
There you go.
All right. So guessing and searching worked out.
Yeah, we figured it.
Um, oh, shoot. I guess I should change my color theme so that you can see the type hints, because I bet you can barely see those.
That's fine.
Yeah, but let's do it anyway. Um, let's see. GitHub dark high contrast. Ooh.
Oh my.
So
I think the dark plus is also pretty good.
dark plus
It's yeah, there you
default. Oh, you like this one?
go.
All right, let's roll with that. Okay. So I guess this is where we create the constructor for the implicit constructor for this structure class. And then we add all the fields here. So for field and get struct fields, we loop through them and push a parameter to the constructor taking that field. So I think we're in the right place.
Yep, that does look right.
And what we need to do now is we need to go through all of the parent classes in, I guess, in as a descending order. Like we need to start at the root class
Right.
to get the syntax that we want. So how do we get there? I guess we need to walk the chain, put them in an array, and walk it backwards. It's
Walk it
probably the easiest.
backwards.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can do it
seems
that
like
way.
the easiest thing to do. So, all right, I'm just gonna sketch something out. Um, parent or inheritance chain is going to be an array of struct IDs.
For the fields, or you're doing the actual classes. Okay. Yep.
Right. Yeah, that's what I figured. So we could do those, put those in an array, and then we can do this in a helper, actually. struct inheritance chain for what struct are we looking at? Struct ID. Okay. So yeah, so we'll write a helper to get the inheritance chain, and let me just sketch that out right quick. Okay, and this will give us just a set of struct IDs.
Right.
Right.
Makes me want to I'm looking forward to the future where we can make our own iterators, so we can just iterate over all of the classes in your parent hierarchy.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah, because this is a bit messy.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I guess, well, we can initialize it with the struct ID that we have, right?
Right. So you always see yourself in your inheritance chain.
Yeah, exactly. And then
Yeah, we'll need to pull in the current struct.
And then that's going to be like something like that. While current has value. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have pre-initialized that because it makes writing the loop a bit awkward. So, okay, we'll do it here instead. Chain push current. Okay. And then we will look up the struct. And we want to get the, what did we call it? The superstruct ID, right?
Yep.
Superstruct ID. So there we go.
And we want to push it in. Oh yeah, so we push the current one, and then we check to see if we are none or
So yeah, the loop checks the none condition.
So we'll exit one early in this case.
Let's see. So so we won't put the parent is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So if you start by, I think the thing that you started with, where you initialize with it.
Yeah.
So you've got mute
so
chain
we don't
equal.
have do. We don't have do.
Yeah. Nope.
Okay. All right. So the first idea was better, you think? Like this?
I think this one will work, and then pull out the superstruct ID if it's not none. Yeah.
And then if superstruct ID
That's
if
right.
not has value, then break, and then this becomes a loop instead, I guess.
Yeah.
Something
and then
like that.
else push the value into. Oh, you already did the push. Yeah, I think you do the push in the if and take it out of the 118. So it's like if you have a parent, push it, and then keep going.
If I have a parent, push it.
Because you've already pushed yourself. Like that.
It's so weird to do these little things like with two different flavors. Like you have your way of
Probably
doing.
true. I probably see it like in a completely different way.
Yeah,
Coming
exactly.
Coming from Rust or whatever.
Okay, well now we've made a mess of this.
Okay. So how would you like to what's a good refactor of this? I mean, one we have that if that's in two parts. We can make one an if and an else.
Yeah.
So that would be
Right.
a little cleaner.
So let's see. I feel like wait, I'm just gonna back up here. Let me do this in the way that my brain thinks.
Sure.
So I want to push the current if it's non-empty. So if current has value, chain push current, and then current is superstruct ID. Okay, but now wait, now I'm still gonna miss.
So after you break out of the loop, you have to push your current.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's weird how this kind of thing becomes weirdly stressful. I noticed this about myself when we do these videos that I struggle with these basic algorithms suddenly.
Well,
It's weird.
I'm the same way. Well, when I'm doing videos, I can't do math in my head. I don't know
Yeah.
if folks watching this have watched any of the emulator and Yacht videos, but it's like I should be able to do powers of two and simple math in my head, but I cannot do them while I'm recording video at the same time. All right, so we're super close, but not quite there. So we're pushing the same thing twice in this example.
Yeah. Wait. Um, if I have a value, then push it. Otherwise, oh, I'm pushing again.
Yeah, I think we want to say something like loop while we have a parent
Yeah. Yeah.
or
Yeah. Yeah.
something like that. And so we'll enter this if there is a parent, and if there is, then we can, however you want to do it.
While the current thing has a parent. Um, how am I making such a mess of this? It's ridiculous.
We're just warming up. It's all good.
I haven't been writing Jakt for so many days. It's like,
I know. Well, I was wondering, it's like, a month of fixing tons of bugs in various areas. I was like, oh, how to yacht again.
yeah. All right, all right. I got to make it through this. I'm gonna fail my Yak job interview otherwise. So, um, I just want to. Damn it! What is it that I want to do? Why am I struggling so much with this? Um,
How would you write it in C++, and then we'll transliterate that.
da, da. So I want to do this. I'm gonna add the
Okay.
current thing,
Hmm.
and then I want to get the next one. Superstruct ID, and maybe what I really want to do is put this into a next. Current is next. And I don't know, something is just turning off in my brain when I'm doing this.
So let's talk it out.
Help.
We've
Yeah, all right.
got a couple
Help.
ways to do it. We can, as we're traversing this,
Yeah.
we can push the current one and then make a loop that looks to the next one and is kind of iterating until that hits none. And once it hits none, it breaks. So that's one way we could go. And then the other way we could go is to push the, like you have now, we're pushing the current one and
So
we
if
look to
not
see if
next has
there's,
value break.
yeah.
So that's what you meant?
So yeah, if it doesn't, okay, hold on, let's read through this. So we loop, we get the next one. So that would be our parent. We push the current one. Okay. If not next has value, then break. Otherwise, set the current to this one. And yeah, I think that would work, something like that.
Okay. This has been weirdly difficult for some reason. So they're still in the wrong order though. So now we got to reverse it. But that should be easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Is there like a
I don't
array
think we have
dot
it.
reverse or something?
I don't
Okay.
think we have a thing for that, um, but we should be able to figure this out at least.
Yep.
So we'll just walk to chain dot size. And we will push chain.
Yeah, you also can use the iterator and push that way.
Da, da, da. Do we have a reverse iterator?
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. You would have to insert instead of push. Insert at the beginning.
Yeah. All right.
This is good.
All right. All right. Let's see. Let's try to do like adult programming again because this is slightly pathetic. All right. So what was I trying to do here? Wrong number of arguments. Dot.
There we go.
Okay. Here we
We need to
go.
make that error better. I'll make a little note as we go along. Or
A wrong number of arguments. Yeah, it's
yeah,
missing
because
this.
yeah, what it really means to say is missing this,
Yeah.
like you're missing the dot.
Right. Yeah. You need to call this on an instance. But yeah, that error is really bad. Okay. So now we have the inheritance chain, hopefully. And let's see. So now we're walking it from left to right. So for all of these fields,
Yeah, we'll have an outer loop.
yeah, we'll like just make an outer loop exactly
Yeah.
for struct. Let's call it field struct ID or something, because struct ID is function parameter. So iterator. Okay, and then there's no auto formatting yet. Soon.
Soon.
Yet.
Oh my gosh, so close.
Yeah. Okay.
I was telling Andreas, I was telling you, but I'm talking to the peoples that we were working on landing formatting last night. So the most recent version of the compiler does have the formatter in it. You can start using it as of today, and we'd love to get feedback if people watching the video want to give it a try. If you're working on any Yuck project and want to try and give us feedback. I think in my mind, we've got like one or two little syntax nits that I want to fix before I call it like, stamp of approval. But it makes the code look so much better and it's so clean that I'm really excited about having a standard formatter.
Yeah, yeah, me too. It's it's really no way to live life without a formatter.
And I'll say too, I mean, this is kind of a fun little historical note. The language that we created, obviously with the help of the community, but one of the reasons that we made the syntax the way it is, which is very lax, very loose, is that we knew we were going to have a standard formatter in the future. So
Right.
you could just kind of type your ideas out and just not care, and it would be valid Yacht. You could leave comments out, you just had that flexibility. Because if the standard formatter can just come in and fix it all up for you, then just let it. So you're not having to think about it. So we were
Indeed.
excited about that.
Oh, it's dot dash O. Okay, so building usually takes a hot minute on my computer. It's not supercharged like yours. So
Gotta get that M1.
yeah, seems like it. Okay.
It's scary faster. I don't know why. It just is.
We're accumulating more and more suspicious
I
compile
noticed
warnings.
that.
We should probably investigate those at some point.
That's weird that it's the same location and the same error 3 times.
That is a little bit weird. I guess it's just telling us that there's a macro here, but still, it's the exact same. That is a little bit weird. All right, so let me see. Let's try this on the shoot. I don't remember what I called it. Inheritance fields. So wrong number of arguments here. So that already fell apart. But
Yeah, we would expect that to type check correctly.
right. So I guess something went wrong here. Let's see. Let's dump out our inheritance chain, see what's in it.
Sounds good. Something else we'll also have to change is This is constructing the function's signature. So we're saying what to do with each field,
Yeah.
but we aren't saying how to turn those into constructions of the parent classes or the parent class.
Right. Of course. So, but that goes in cogen, I guess.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, it probably does, doesn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And of course, we also need to add them as fields to
Right.
the. Wait. Yeah. Hmm. They don't need to be. No, no. We don't need to add anything to the struct because it should find the fields via parent lookup.
That's right. It'd be the same thing that we did for methods. At least
Yeah.
that's my assumption. Yeah.
So the chain.
Module ID.
That I'm missing the topmost thing again. Is that it? Because it only has two. I guess it would have been easier if I printed the name of the things.
Yeah, we should do that. Yeah, if you do the name, maybe that'll be
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just messed this up. Discover inheritance chain. Let's printf debug our way through this. So,
so every time we push, we can yeah, there we go.
and here we will simply put the get struct current name, something like that.
Yeah, and then close your paren.
Is that what the problem is? It was. It was error spanning a weird place.
Yeah.
Now it's not doing
Yeah,
it at all.
it should error yeah, it should error span at the end.
Oh, now I became concerned that I had like a CPU maxing Jakt, which I do.
Really, I haven't
Um,
had one of those in a long time. Have
oh no,
you
it
maybe you're
stopped.
running an old Yacht for oh,
I
it's
think
just your build. Okay.
yeah. I think it was a debug build.
Yeah.
Um, okay.
Yeah, I kept I just noticed when you said that, I was like, oh, I haven't noticed an IDE Yacht like spin out in a long time. We used to have those all the time.
Yeah, I had
You
to
couldn't.
reboot my computer quite a few times because of that.
uh, definitely
All right.
teaches you what
Yeah.
resource exhaustion feels like. Well,
Yeah.
that looks right, except for the grandparents not there.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So I'm still messing this up.
All right, we'll figure this out here.
All right. All right. All right. Um, so like my brain wants to do a do while out of this, and when it's not allowed, then it just breaks down for some reason.
All right, you want me to write something?
Please.
Okay, let's see if I can get a little bit closer. Right. So we come in with the struct ID. We've got our chain. Sounds okay. And the current one, that's good. So while current is has value, I don't get to
Mhm.
see your completions.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
Maybe
So I'm
we're
gonna,
just like lagging behind.
yeah, maybe. Well, we had this problem with one of our other sessions.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I kept
Okay,
seeing
so
your
it is catching
completions.
it.
Okay.
Yeah. If I type slower, then I think I'll get them. Okay, so while we have value, that's great. Then we'll push the current value. That was weird. Current dot, oh, like this.
Yeah.
And then if current dot has value, well, I guess we already know that that's true. Then the
Yeah.
next thing we want is the parent. Let parent equal And maybe we'll say this thing. And if parent, uh, hmm, I was kind of thinking maybe this way. And then if parent has value, then chain.push parent and current equals parent. And
Sure.
then something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Else current equals, I guess we just do this in both cases.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Right.
And I'll put your prints in there so we can make sure that this makes some amount of sense.
Yeah.
This should say parent.
Yeah, you still have to get the struct though.
Oh, that's a struct ID. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get struct parent. That's name. Like that. And then this one is the same, but with current. Oops. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
How's that look?
Yeah. Seems fine. And then we'll just nuke this loop here. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Let's see how close we got that time.
Yeah.
It definitely, yeah. I honestly, the people that solve puzzle games, yeah, on video, I don't understand how that brain works. How do you how do you think and solve puzzles while talking? I just think my brain does one or the other.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really struggle with any of this stuff when I'm just by myself narrating, but I think then I'm
Mhm.
just saying my thoughts. So I'm
Right, right.
not like having a conversation. So somehow having a conversation and programming at the same time very difficult.
Right.
But I think it's something we could probably practice, or I can get better at.
Mm.
Still wrong number of arguments, but
Yeah, we see the grandparent, then we see parent, and then we see child. Interesting.
uh,
So those are the grandparent getting worked on, then the
yeah,
parent,
yeah,
then
yeah.
the child. So what's happening when we have a grandparent? Um, okay, we can fix this. I'm sure everyone watching this is like yelling at the screen, going, "What is going on? Why can they not do this?
Yep.
Why is this so hard?"
Yep.
That's funny.
That's high quality YouTube entertainment.
I know, right? I know. Let's see how many comments we can count. All right, so let's kind of walk through why is grandparent not working. So the first time we come through, we have child. Child gets pushed. Child has a value, so we go into the loop. We get the superstruct ID, which it does have. Um, that becomes the parent, or I should say the parent has the value, so that's good. We push that parent into the chain. That's
Mm-hmm.
correct. Current is now parent, capital
Right.
P parent, but also lower parent. So we go around. Does current have value? Yes. So we get the superstruct ID, which is now grandparent. parent has value, that is true. It is the grandparent. Then we should be seeing the grandparents get printed on line 1024 and then pushed.
Wait, I just have to check something.
What's that?
Oh no. Oh no.
What happened? That's awesome.
Oops.
We are so good at coding. We're just like amazing.
All right.
Oh gosh.
All right. Oh, my little heart. Okay, yeah, that's a bit of a mess up. So let's try that again. Oh, look, it's there.
Oh, that was awesome.
Right. So, if you did not catch, by the way, what I was doing there, we were just missing parent inheriting from grandparent. That was the error all along. And
Oh my gosh.
anyway, but this is what I enjoy about posting unedited content to YouTube, because you get things like this.
That's all right.
Of course, I could edit this out to make us look smart, but it's much
No,
funnier to
let's
leave it in.
not. Let's just show
Yeah.
people what we are. Let's be honest.
Yes.
Okay, so now that this is working,
Hmm.
um,
Right. What were we trying to do? I forget.
right. So you'll notice the constructor actually passes type check now, which is
Yeah.
exactly what we were trying to fix. So that's excellent. We know that the child can't see the fields yet. We haven't added that function.
Right.
And we also need to do the cogen. So we've got a couple of things we need to add, but we're at least much further.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So I guess we can just add the field lookup. Shouldn't be that much work, right?
Yeah, hopefully. I'm suspecting that right now we just kind of reach in, kind of we'll access the fields directly. We'll need some kind of helper function that accesses fields and force everyone to use it.
Let's see what we do. So what is this? What do we call this
Yeah,
type of
member sounds
expression?
right.
Member something? Member field access?
Yeah, that sounds really
Indexed
promising.
struct?
That is not the best name. Apologies for that.
That's a bit of a goofy name, yeah.
No.
But we're doing an indexed struct access on type struct.
Hmm.
So here, I guess. So member, we are just walking the fields here. So
Yeah.
I guess, again, we need to walk the inheritance chain.
We could. Something I would suggest we do like at this point is on check struct, we can make a helper function that says, go fetch me the field named blah.
Mm-hmm.
And each job would be to do the walk, find the member, and then give you back uh, something. I don't know what the best thing is. Maybe just the field or
I
something.
think we also need to know the structure scope ID of the field where the struct where we found it,
Right.
because you need to be able to do access control checks like public, private,
Yep.
stuff like that in
Yep.
that context. So we need a tuple, I guess.
Something. Yeah, yeah. We could start with a tuple.
All right. So um, just now this program is correct as intended, I hope. So let's hope we don't waste another half hour on that. And you wanted me to do a, I guess structure can be that, but should be able to use destructuring assignment here, right?
I believe so. If you're on like a recent Jakt, you should be able to do it.
Should be. Otherwise, we'll
Hmm.
just build one.
Yeah, that's true.
So struct ID and member ID is going to be Structure dot get field, something like that.
Yeah,
And
something like that. And then pass it the,
field,
I guess, the name. Yeah.
is that the thing?
hmm Yeah. Where's the member dot name equals field?
Field, yeah, right, yeah. Okay, and then once we have that, then this code should be able to just look like this, I guess.
Yeah,
Assuming that we
something.
find.
Assuming we find one. Yeah.
So wait, how do we know that we found it then?
This should be an optional value.
Is it an optional tuple?
Mm. I was kind of thinking that we would return like a field record and make it an optional field record, and that in that we would have like a struct ID and a member ID.
Okay, so field record.
Like field lookup or yeah, something.
Okay, lookup field. And then this thing will give us that thing, and then that will be an optional field record, is what you're saying.
Right. Something like
Okay,
that.
sure. All right, and then if field record has value. Okay,
Yep.
so like that.
Yep.
Oh, there we go.
And
Okay.
if it doesn't, then we throw an error.
Yeah.
We do just like that.
Yeah. So
Cool.
I think that's good. And let's make sure that we use field record for context here. So field record struct ID. So something like that, right? Because I
Yeah,
guess we're going to return the struct ID in the field record.
that sounds right.
And field record dot member. What was member? I've already forgot.
Yeah, where
Member
did that come
was
from? Oh,
something
it's
in
just
fields.
yeah, yeah. In each field, they must have some particular ID for each field.
Field I fields. Oh, it's
Oh,
bar
they're
ID.
variables. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
That makes
All right.
sense.
So how do I get back to where I was? Okay. So member ID get variable. Okay. A little bit weird to write this out before the field record type
Yeah, that's
exists.
all good. Just make
But
sure we have everything we need.
yeah. So this goes, does this go in types.yakt? I'm not sure what types.yakt is, but
Um, there's wherever the what was it, check struct?
mm-hmm.
Is that where I would just yeah, see if we could find where that's defined and give that
Yeah,
maybe
we'll
a
put it right
method.
there. Yep. So function lookup field
It is tempting to write
is
it like that, isn't it?
it was, yeah.
Huh.
Oh, what did you mean?
This is, well, this is actually an interesting little like uh, uh, muscle memory or something like that. That
Yeah.
we could make it so that methods do have a dot in front rather than having to say this
Oh,
like that.
interesting. Like that?
Yeah. So that's one way, or the way that you just did. Um, we don't have to do syntax design now. We can focus
Oh,
on just
yes.
this. But
Right.
I'm always like on the lookout as we use the language for times where what we're doing naturally would be a nice, you know, polish to the syntax, a nice little improvement to the syntax.
Yeah. Indeed. Indeed. Okay, so I guess here we need to walk the inheritance chain.
Luckily, we have a helper to do that now.
Yeah, but it goes in the wrong direction though, because now we wanna start here at the current class, right?
Right.
So the helper is not going to help us unless we make another version of it that doesn't reverse. I think
Oh,
here
we
we
also
don't.
have,
We can just
yeah,
walk, right?
we also don't even have access to the struct.
Oh shoot, you're right. We need
So this,
to.
yeah, this lookup needs to go somewhere else, maybe. Not on check
Yeah,
struct, but on
yeah.
the type checker.
Because of the interning, we have to ask the type checker to look things up for us, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess we can put it here. Lookup field in struct. Lookup struct field.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Something like that.
Hmm.
Let me make sure I use this correctly. So lookup struct field.
Yeah, and then take the structure part out. I can just do that.
Oh, you can do that?
Yeah, I've been typing. I've just been watching you.
Oh, I thought you were saying you can do that.
Yeah. I was just moving to the, okay, that's all good.
Name. Okay, and oh, we need to bang these. All right.
And they probably need, are they anon? The get struct and,
Get struct. That's an on,
yeah,
yeah.
they are. Okay. Huh.
Oh, wait, it doesn't find field record. I guess I have to import it. I have to import it.
Oh, from
Field
types. Yeah.
record. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, so let me just do that for a second, and then okay, and then oh, member here needs to be something. That's a little bit of a mess.
Yeah, having to use all these lookups or the get.
Yeah. So let me just do that at least. I think we can find a better abstraction for all the interning at some point somehow.
Hmm.
But that's not what we're here to do today. So let's let me not divert. Okay, so let's implement that.
Until we do our 12-hour epic live stream.
Yeah. 24-hour yak shaving at
Oh my
100,000
gosh.
subscribers.
I was watching some of the Asahi Linux folks do like 12+ hour live streams. I'm like, how in the world do you do that?
Yeah, I don't
That
know.
is,
That's
that's
it's very
amazing.
long. Yeah, it's impressive that people can go for that long. I don't know how they do
I
it.
know. I feel like if you haven't actually tried doing videos for like long form, like 2 hours, 4 hours, and see what your brain feels like after even 2 or 3 hours of it, it's like
Yeah,
you just have so much respect for people that can go for longer than that.
very much. Yeah. Okay, so it's one of those loops again where we have to iterate.
Can we just copy what we did last time?
I guess. Um, Inheritance chain. I forget already what it did. Right, so let's just do this and then yeah, it's not necessary to do it this way. I'm just doing it now because I don't want to fight with that thing anymore. We can definitely be smarter here, but you know. Current struct ID in chain. All right. Okay, so I guess we need to iterate the fields in this struct. So
Mhm.
field in get struct current struct ID dot fields dot iterator. What do I get? A var ID. Okay. So field is get variable field ID if field dot name equals
Yep. Equals name.
equals name. Then return parsed. No, wait. What am I returning? Field record.
Field record. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And it needs to have the struct ID of the current struct ID. And it also needs to have the field ID. So I call that member ID. Maybe field ID would be a better. I'll be using field and member a bit interchangeably in various places. It's a little bit clumsy. Let's see. Field record, field ID. Is member ID a thing? Okay, only in that one place, so. Okay. Let's see. So what did I do here? We make our little chain, and then we walk the chain forwards from the current class up the base class chain, looking for anybody who has this name, and if so, we return a field record for it, otherwise return none. This seems right.
Yep.
But I've said that before. So
first, check our sample to make sure the sample's right. That's our lesson for today.
Very true. Yeah. So I feel like the sample is correct now.
It looks right to me.
Yeah.
Famous last words, but
I bet it looked right before too. Yeah.
It's kind of almost a kind of blindness, when you you expect something to be there, but you don't actually look to see that it's there.
Yeah.
And it's you just don't see that it's not.
Yeah, it's this weird assumption blindness or whatever.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah. So
we're now failing in the C++, which is what we want. We know that we actually need to update the C++ code gen as well for this to work. But we're past the type check phase, which is great.
Yeah, so we can actually look at this, I guess, to see what it comes out as.
Yeah.
And we have the grandparent class. Parent inherits from grandparent. Parent has X. Grandparent has oh no. Yeah. It's all good. It's right there. Beautiful.
Perfect.
Right. So our trouble is now that we have to. So here's the constructor for the grandparent. So anybody constructing a grandparent has to provide the ono field. Parent takes the ono field right here and tries to assign it to ono, but this is not allowed. We have to invoke the base class constructor here rather than trying to initialize the base class field. And I guess it gets weirder down
progressively
here.
worse. Yeah, as we go.
Yeah, right. It just gets worse and worse. So we need to fix the constructor cogen. Yeah. Because this part here looks fine. Like when you instantiate a child via the create function, we pass in these things to the child constructor. That part is fine. So it's just the actual C++ constructor that needs to be fixed, I think.
That sounds right. Though you know C++ way, way better than I do.
Right. Yeah. But it's probably going to be fine. And then here, child. Yeah, so accessing X here is perfectly fine.
That still works. Yeah.
Yes. So we have to fix constructors so that, I mean, I guess I can sketch it out here to show what we need to achieve. So instead of saying, oh no, here, this needs to say grandparent. Like that. And let's see.
So it seems like we only need to initialize the immediately preceding or the immediate superclass
Right.
with for those for the fields that are coming from that superclass.
We need to, no, we have to do the immediate superclass with every field that comes from anybody above us in the chain because,
Anybody above us, yeah,
right. So,
right, and then they do the same thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So here in child, we can't do X either, right? Because X is in parent. So this has to move up to here.
right, right.
So that it looks like this.
I'm kind of curious. So, like right now, how is CodeGen even seeing those fields while it's building it?
You
Maybe we'll,
ask an interesting question.
it's like it doesn't know that they're there, so somehow it knows that they're there.
Yeah, wait, why does that work? That's a really good question. Um, okay, so cogen constructor. Ah,
There we go.
here we go. Okay, so if the record type is class, yes, please. Then protected, la la la. Oh, it walks the parameter list. So the constructor parameters.
So we'll have to know which ones of these are not members of the class, and if they're
Mm-hmm.
not, then we put them in the in kind of the parent constructor.
Right. So ideally, we would just kind of have a number, I guess.
Yeah, you could do it that way. Like skip some number and
Yeah,
or take up to that number and put that in the.
up to that number. Right.
Well, we know that. That's a great point. I mean, structure knows how many fields it has. So then we could just subtract those off, and then we know that the first X of those are going to the parent constructor.
Yes, exactly. Ah, so that's pretty straightforward, actually.
Sounds right. Assuming we keep
Hmm.
everything the same order, so it's always parent fields first, and
Yeah,
then our fields, then the same thing would be true. It's only parent and the constructor first.
right. I think that checks out. So we have the struct here. It's weird how we sometimes call it structure and sometimes struct.
Yeah, or struct a little underline. You can see
Yeah.
different people wrote the code. We never really
Yeah.
normalized it.
Like, we should definitely normalize things like that. Maybe when we start doing the auto formatting, then we will also feel compelled to
Yeah,
do like higher level normalization.
I'm looking forward to the massive PR where we normalize the whole code base
Hmm.
formatting wise. Goodness.
Yeah, that's gonna be tasty. So let's see, where do we jump in here? Just trying to orient myself in the generated code. So explicit is this part right here. And then comes the parameter list. That doesn't change,
It
but
doesn't change. Yeah.
we need to invoke the base class constructor before doing any of the initializers. So if there is a base class constructor, so let's see, if not params is empty, that's how we currently decide to do a bunch of initializers.
Okay.
But I
Makes
think
sense.
that makes sense. Yeah. So then we'd spit out a colon, and then this first is just to decide if we do a comma after each one. I think, yeah.
Hmm.
So nothing too fancy about that. So let's see. So we need to compute the number of parameters to hoist to the parent class. So
Yep.
let me
Where
just,
does the where does the parent constructor even get called right now?
it doesn't.
So, okay, this is the first time we're actually introducing that. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So parent class constructor parameter count, something like that.
Right.
And I guess there are two ways to look this up. You can go and find the parent class, find its constructor, and ask how many parameters it takes. Or you can make a little assumption here that subtraction can figure it out, right?
Yeah, sounds good. So we
So,
know how many parameters we have from function params.
right. So function dot. Oh my goodness, what happened here?
There you
I
go.
just got a lot of type hints.
Yeah.
Sometimes the IDE extension goes a little haywire, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's like whatever it thinks the next parse step is. Sometimes
Yeah.
it'll pull types from nearby things.
Um,
Yeah.
yep.
So that gives us the number of parent constructor, parent class
Parent,
constructor
parent
parameters.
constructor. Yeah. Parameter count. All right. And then I guess if we we only need to explicitly invoke the parent constructor if it takes any parameters. If it doesn't take any
That's right.
parameters, you don't have to explicitly invoke it. It will be implicitly invoked. I guess that's how it works today already. Like
That
that's how
must
we
be
were able
because
to
we
do it.
don't support fields inherited yet. Okay. Yep.
Right.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's why it works. So if we have this, let's see. So if parent constructor parameter count, I can put that. Then output plus equals. What's the name of the parent class? I guess structure super struct ID.
And then we have to look it up. Yeah.
Get struct.
Name.
Oh, like that. There we go.
There you go.
Okay. And then a little paren and a little end paren. Let's see. And then I got to do all of those. Oh, interesting. So I need to sort of slice off the parameters, steal them from the parameter list, right?
Mhm.
So I guess maybe we should just do numeric iteration here. So for I in parent constructor parameter count. And then we want to do what we do down here. Function params I. Okay. And then we want to put a comma after each one except the last one.
Right.
So if I is not parent constructor parameter count -1, this feels like one of those classic programming things. Like, don't put the comma. Okay, I have to check if I'm at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And it's weird that I don't know of any language syntax that like naturally lends itself to describing that. It's always some hacky, like you're holding a Boolean or you're trying
yeah,
to call
exactly.
some special method that does it or something.
This makes me wonder though, like, isn't it nice in Yak that you can maybe do like
Yeah.
less, you
Dangling
can
commas are totally fine.
dangling commas or like omitting the commas and it will just totally swallow it and let the
Yep.
formatter has to fix it up.
Yep.
I kind of like that
Yeah, absolutely.
because, and here's an aspect of that I never thought of, but like for writing a code generator, that's super nice because you can write a code generator that spits out pretty messy stuff and it'll just work.
like we do spitting out C++. plus plus.
Yeah, yeah, but like now we have to deal with C++ being strict. Imagine if you could
Yeah,
generate
exactly.
Jakt, right?
Exactly. And it was much more relaxed. Absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't think of that, but that's kind of nice. Like this code would be much nicer if we could generate Jakt. Anyway,
Mhm.
all right. So here now, when I do eventually iterate again, I have to skip.
For
Oh
this
shit.
connection. You hung for a
Um,
second, but you're back now.
I think. Um, yeah. Look at that guy. 48 gigs.
Wow.
Uh,
Wow.
it
Nice.
it almost killed us.
You're back.
Yeah, we're back. Um, okay, so we had a runaway IDE Yakt process there. Um, I should have noticed that my little green bar down here started getting full.
Yeah. Still
So
surprised that you see them, but I don't see them when working on the emulator. It could just be that there are patterns in the compiler itself that do trip them, but
yeah,
the emulator doesn't quite yet do that. At least I don't notice it.
I mean, I must have done something right now that just tripped it up, right?
Yeah,
But we're not gonna backtrack and figure out what it was because
that's all right.
that's no fun. Okay, so we need to iterate. So we'll go from I guess parent constructor parameter count.
Yeah, you can do it this way. We also have
Ooh.
slicing now too. Yeah,
Oh,
go ahead.
how, how do we do the slice?
So you can do function params and then square bracket and then the slice that you want. So if you wanted to start from parent
From
constructor
parent.
param count, you can do that and say dot dot, and it will slice to the end.
Cool. That's pretty cool. Okay, I like that. Wait, so that means I could have done that up here as well?
Mhm.
Oh, well, let's make use of that. So, function params. So dot dot is exclusive. Is that an exclusive range?
I'm trying to remember if we made that exclusive or inclusive by default. I don't remember which one we did.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! But now
And
I don't know if I'm the last one.
yeah, so then you want instead of that, instead of iterator, you want enumerate or enumerator or something.
Yeah, but we don't have that, right?
We do.
We
Mhm.
have that? Are you
Mhm.
serious?
Where have you been?
I was working on the web
Working.
engine.
I know, I know. You've been doing lots of good work elsewhere. Yeah,
Oh
we
yeah.
did end up adding it.
What do I say
Yeah,
then?
just
Enumerate?
I think it's called enumerate. Let me just double check. And then no iterator. It's just its own thing. Uh,
Um,
did that not land? Be lying to you.
are you lying to me right now, JT? Oh my goodness.
Enumerate. Numerator. Yeah, that may not have landed yet. That is getting
Hmm.
worked on if it hasn't landed yet.
Okay, well that's gonna be kick ass.
No.
Um, but that means
Until then.
that until then, yeah. Let's see.
I mean, you could do the trick that I was doing before with, mute first equals
Yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah. But now I feel like I just realized that the colon here,
Hmm.
it's a little bit like an overloaded colon because we also need to care about the, let me show you in the CBP file. What did I call that? So here we want to say parent or
Mhm.
whatever. But if we don't have a parent, then, and if we had a field here instead, we would need to put that directly after a colon.
Mhm.
But I guess that's okay.
Yeah, I think that still works.
Yeah, 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 right. But I guess my point is that I already have first, So I need to call it first two or something. Do you know
Or
what I mean?
reset, yeah, or reset first back to true after the loop.
Right, but I'm using first to track these,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and now we want to use it to track these commas in here as well, and I think that's going to fall apart. So let's see. Although I guess if I make one here, then it's
yeah, that
scoped.
works. Yeah,
Yeah,
then it's just scoped.
feels a little bit sloppy, but all right.
Yeah.
Hey, hey. Okay, so if not first, yeah,
That'll work.
yeah. I guess you can
And then
even
we
do it
don't
that
need
way.
that last line anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Hmm. This doesn't look right. Okay.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, I think we're onto something.
yeah,
The
yeah.
one
Okay,
thing
well,
I was going to ask you about, like a bit of C++ syntax that I'm not sure about.
mm-hmm.
When after you construct the parent, if you have additional fields, do you construct the parent first, then comma, and then your fields after
Yeah,
that? Like, what's the syntax look like?
precisely that.
So if that's the case, then the first that we had before we'll actually still want. Yeah, like that.
Right. So
Okay,
that one
cool.
still exists. It's out here.
Right. So if you
Or
scroll
no, no,
down to where
yeah.
we put, yeah, so line 39 the loop that starts there.
Mm-hmm.
Notice how it says if not first, add comma. We still want to do that if we're not first anymore
Yeah.
because a parent has been written out ahead of us.
Right. So this just stays here, right?
That stays, but we have to also set it in the if. So if the parent constructor param count is greater than 0, we know that we're going to output a constructor first.
Oh, I see what you're
Yeah.
saying.
So I think that can just become first as um, whatever.
So wait.
Or make its own version. Yeah, like
Let's
give it a
see. So
different
we
name so we don't
we
use the
would
same name.
reset it, I guess. Yeah, so we can reset first here. This feels this is
Error
very
prone.
unfortunate. Yeah, like I wish that I could I almost wish I would get like some kind of enumerator object that would just have like a dot first and dot last on it.
Mm,
That would just be so expressive.
yeah.
Um, because I've already lost track of what this first thing represents. Because up
I think
here,
yeah,
yeah. So we're
it's
using
I
it up
think
here.
it's serving the same purpose, but
Okay. Because it has one
uh,
purpose while we're generating the parameter list. So we're
yeah,
generating this list here, and then we repurpose it for this list.
yeah, I guess so. I would just make a new variable for each one of those so that uh, we knew which
Yeah.
one it was. But
So we can do that. And first, da da da. And here, first always has to be false here. I guess that's the thing you
that's
were
right.
getting at.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, all right. It doesn't have to be perfectly
doesn't have
beautiful
to be
always.
perfect. Yeah, it's just can we get close? Yeah, then we can
Um,
improve it as we go.
yes. Exactly. Let's try to build this thing. It says I have errors, but none of them.
Well, those are the old
Yeah.
compiler.
Right. So, what do you think? Is it going to work?
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I think it will. Yeah.
I think maybe the C++ punctuation is going to be
Yeah, we'll
bungled.
have three commas in a row.
Yeah.
Uh,
And we'll spend 45 minutes fixing that before realizing that I'm compiling the wrong file or something. Yeah.
I was fixing some formatter bug last night, and it was something like that where it's like, why is it's eating all this? That's what it was. It was eating all the spaces between every word. So if you
Yeah.
had, public space, foo space, something else, it would just like mush them together. Like that's not good. That's not good formatting.
No.
Okay,
Okay,
we
so
core dumped. Yay.
yes. So we are accessing an array slice out of bounds,
Okay.
which of course is an immediate crash
hmm
because you're not allowed to do that. Um,
So that
so
sounds like our
it's that
uh
slice syntax.
yeah, the slice we're slicing from a position. The first slice is probably correct. The second slice we're probably slicing incorrectly.
So,
Like, how do we know that we actually have some to
oh wait,
work
do I
from
have to do
here?
this?
I was thinking more, we don't guard this 2942, this loop. We just assume that we have some parameters. But if we're already at the end, then we shouldn't be running this loop.
But slicing from zero if you have nothing is not okay, I guess.
Yeah, that could be that that's not, that's currently, um, that currently tries to create something that fails. Yeah, where I think ultimately we want it to just return a slice of empty so that it doesn't do anything.
Right. Yeah. So my maybe the nice thing to do right now is to just do a numbered iteration instead.
If you want. Yeah,
As sad as it is to not.
I know. To give up on
Um,
the. Yeah. All right.
okay. Let's try that.
I like we need like a hype music in the background whenever it's building. It's like, did we get it right this time?
Yeah, you know that makes me think I should have some hype warning sound in the background when my memory gets like
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like a beep that gets faster and faster as you
yeah,
start running out of memory.
that would be kind of nifty. Um, but yeah, it's a bit annoying that we still have those issues. Maybe we should put something into the compiler itself, like that just
Yeah. So it
guards.
just doesn't allow itself to, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. That's my bad. I'm doing parameter initialization or field init syntax
Excuse me.
when I'm trying to pass parameters. So I don't need to do this. That's the problem.
Oh, okay.
And I think I also don't need to double paren those. So that should be okay.
So we're like super close, it looks like.
Possibly.
Nice.
Let's see.
I was thinking about hype tracks and uh did you ever watch any or were you ever on the which Zig which Zig thing was I on last year? Uh
Oh,
Loris
you're
puts
thinking
it
of Zig
together.
Showtime?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, the intro song. That's
The
pretty
intro
hyped.
song is so hype. I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like
yeah.
listening to that, and then when the interview started, I'm like wired out of my mind. I'm like, okay, let's go.
Yeah. Oh, I did something.
Nice.
Hey,
Heyo. Nice.
it worked. Right. Yeah, okay. So that seems to be working right.
That's all right. Just commit it. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel good about it. Let's roll. What's that? How's that song go? The Zig song. I said, "This is how we rock. This is how we roll," or something like that, right?
I don't even remember the words. I just remember that I was listening to it and it felt like it just getting more and more hyped as you would listen. This is a serious track.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna let's see, build the IDE extension with our new
That sounds
stuff.
good. So you're getting the errors.
Yeah, that's gonna take forever with optimizations, but that'll
Yep.
be.
So, okay, while that's building, maybe we can talk a bit about some of our next steps here. So we
Mm-hmm.
have fields, we can inherit fields, we can access inherited fields, we can construct in C++, we can properly construct our inherited fields. The
Mm-hmm.
constructors right now are still a bit large. We'll
Sure.
improve that syntax as we go. But the important thing is that they work first, and then
Right. Of course.
have a nicer syntax. So with that, as far as things that we need to have working, you were showing me an example, and this was before we actually hit record. You were showing me an example of what we would need to have working to do small Serenity examples.
Right. Yeah.
How close are we getting to that? Like, are there additional things that we need to continue adding?
So the thing we need to model to make GUI apps for Serenity would be something like, um, so let's say that we model the GUI library, like extern class abstract button, which has a field called onChecked. So this is for checkboxes. And that would be, what's our closure syntax? Is it like this?
I think so. Trying to
That did,
remember for the type side. Yeah.
yeah. Would that be the right syntax? Anyway, let's
Uh,
imagine that it is.
let's imagine so. Yeah.
And then we would want to say something like checkbox is a abstract button. And then when you're writing your little program, you would say something like GUI checkbox. I
Mhm.
like how it already highlights this, by the way. That's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Feels like it's real.
Yeah. And here I want to say onChecked equals, and then I want to put in my little thing.
Okay.
It was checked. And I guess this thing should actually get a bool. It was checked. Yeah, so this is a very, very common pattern in our GUI applications, and it's something we need to be able to model, to be able to call, or to be able to use this stuff from Jakt. And I think what we've done today is we've added fields and fields in parent classes. So in theory, we have the bits that we need here, although I'm not confident that everything will
Yeah,
mesh.
I haven't used the first class function support enough to know how well like the types for first class functions are working. But we could, if we wanted to, look around in the sample code or the test unit test
Mm-hmm.
to see if we can see unit tests where they do use first class functions. Yeah, closures. There we go.
So yeah, it looks like I was
So that
pretty
does
on the
look right.
mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Right.
in theory, this could start working.
Well, one issue that we have is I don't know if we can store closures at the moment. I know we can pass them around, but can we store
Oh
them?
yeah. I'm not sure.
Let's see if we have something like that. Mm,
We could just make a quick test
yeah, we can just make a
um,
test. That's true.
where we make a struct where we store a closure in it and see if that works.
Let's see.
Yeah, if this doesn't work, then it's like, okay, well, we'll do that some other time.
Yeah. Hello?
Now, how do we invoke it? Just like that? What's the
Uh,
error? Could not find F. Ah, yeah. Maybe what's going to stop us is that we don't have an easy way of invoking functions on fields. Like
yeah.
it's assuming that it's a method lookup rather than a
It
field
thinks it's a
lookup.
method. Yeah, exactly. So maybe could you do this though? Or not with the star, but just that?
Yeah, it's still thinking that it's uh, yeah, what
Okay,
is the type of
well,
that?
call it.
Right, exactly. I feel like I'm looking up the definition for hacks.
Hex,
Define
yes.
define hacks. There you
We
go.
haxen. All right, all right. So,
But you can do it.
but well, you
Well,
say
we have to
that,
build
but
it first. Yeah, right.
yeah, it didn't like that.
Oh, it's trying to
Um,
format the function pointer, the debugger,
mm,
debug outputs
yeah,
trying to format.
and we're trying to copy construct a function, and you can't copy construct function objects. They're move only, but that's
So it's possible.
actually fixable.
Yeah. Yeah, it also feels like this is something that may work for external classes, just not work for user classes just yet.
That might be true. Yeah, it feels like I guess just nobody tried to look into this stuff yet.
Yeah.
So it kind of sort of. I mean, it type checks fine because we're just not checking and
Right.
saying
Right.
anything negative about it, right? Um, but yeah, this is an area where we should do more stuff. But I feel like with closures in particular, we have to be sure that we're storing closures in a safe way, right? So um, only certain types of captures can be allowed, right? So we have
Yeah.
to disallow reference captures if you want to store your closure. That's that's sort of the main safety concern about that.
Yeah.
As long as you do that, it should be fine.
Mhm.
Huh. All right. So let's see. How are we for time? Oh, another half hour or so of hacks we could do.
Cool. Do we want to give a try of well, first, the IDE support that you built, do you want to try running that and see if that fixes the errors that you're seeing?
Certainly does.
Nice.
It
And
just
then I
works.
think, yeah, I think if your game, um, I think we should try making a small Serenity app.
A small Serenity app.
Yeah, can we do that in 30 minutes?
Um, so the main trouble that we're gonna hit, I think, is I don't know how to build apps for Serenity from Jakt, and
How would
I
you
haven't.
build one from C++?
That part is easy, but I mean, we have these two warring standard libraries, but maybe they will just mesh.
Oh no, that's true. Oh no.
Because
I
the
didn't even
problem
think about
is,
that.
yeah, so we have like the string stuff in the Jakt standard library is very error. It handles errors in a very nice way, but
Right.
in Serenity, we just assume that allocation can't fail for strings and stuff like that. So those things will not really mesh, and we may hit a wall if we go at that. But
Okay, that's fair.
I guess what we
I,
can do is we can do a miniature of it where
okay.
we make an extern class in C++, and then we try to model it in Jakt, and we see if we can make like a small example of that work. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So let's see. Like we'll just I'll just hack something into the runtime library just for testing. So we'll just add a little goofy class here. I guess we can do those ones that I was talking about, the buttons.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, let's see. So do we want to do a closure, store closure on it?
We can't yet.
Um,
Well, I guess you
let's,
could on the C++ side, but I don't know if we could assign if the types would align that we could assign. We could try it.
we can try it, see what happens. Yeah, let's just see if we can make that work. So something like that.
Yeah.
Which is a public abstract button. And then we need some kind of function that gives you one of these things. So something like that.
Wow. I'm like watching you type in C++, and it's just night and day between
Yeah.
comparing that and writing the Yaks.
Yeah, C++ looks so...
Anyhow.
Yeah. Next to Jakt, it just looks a bit sad. I have to say. But most languages look pretty sad next to Jakt, so that is... it's pretty good.
I think that's what you get when you make the language that you want. You know,
Perhaps.
it's like the glove fits you,
Yeah.
so the glove fits.
True. So let's see, with our quick test here, we'll just add extern class and extern class checkbox. I don't even know if this is gonna, if
I
we
have
can
no
model
idea.
extern
Yeah,
class with
exactly.
parents. We'll find
We're
out if
gonna
that
try.
works. Yeah.
I mean, in theory, all the type checks should work
Right?
because all it is the same thing, but without a body.
So let's keep our friendly call it helper here.
Yeah, we'll need it.
Okay.
Do we need to pass in the value to call it with?
Yeah, right. Oh, does that go here? That's kind of awkward. Yeah, the
Hacks.
closure syntax is a little bit verbose.
Yeah, we could tighten that up. So
Yeah,
that still is having a problem. What's the
don't
error there?
like it.
Wrong
Oh, got
parameter
value
name, got value.
expected checked. Wait, what?
Expected checked. Um, why is it seeing the name
How does
of
it
line
see that?
2? Yeah, that's wild. What in the world?
I'm so confused. Something is definitely not going right here.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, so maybe this function goes into some weird set that we then discover while trying to type check this call. We
Yeah.
shouldn't be looking at that when
No,
type checking this.
we
But
might be looking at the wrong scope ID. But
yeah. Okay, so let's just remove the parameter to the function for now and see if we can make it work without it. I think just for simplicity's sake.
right.
And we will give it a helper called check it or check. Public function check.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we can call that and it will make this thing fire, basically. See if we can get that going. So checkbox is checkbox. And
We'll
now
have
I
to
have
pass
to,
it. Yeah.
yeah. So can I just say that?
Feels like you should be able to.
Cannot
Cannot assign
assign.
void to a variable.
Hmm.
Say what?
Cannot
Huh.
assign void to a variable. Why is it saying that?
It thinks the return of checkbox is void.
Oh.
Oh, do we have to describe the
Oh, I see, I see.
constructor?
Yeah, probably. So this thing needs to mute this and create. Yeah. You're probably right. It doesn't see that otherwise.
Yeah.
Wrong
And
number
then
of
we have to,
arguments.
so we'll have to pass in the
Yes, exactly.
that. Hmm.
And then, oh, and it needs to return a checkbox. Okay.
Ah, there we go.
Hey.
Nice.
Okay. And then we just want to call checkbox dot check. Okay. It's good. Good that you're here, so I can learn how to program in Jakt. So let me go ahead and add that check thing here.
I Look, I'm learning Yacht as we go too. Looks like, oh, I know we have first class functions. I don't know what the syntax is.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we don't need these fellas. In theory, if
Yeah,
this
there is.
works, then that's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is
So
sweet.
let's try it out.
'Cause it feels like
Oh,
what we have is kind of a, yeah, like you're saying, kind of a step towards actually writing real apps in it.
yeah.
Um,
Okay,
so
so
these are
we.
failing in C++.
Oh, that's my bad. I needed to say Jakt function here. Okay, again, my bad. Okay, again. Apparently, I am not aware of everything needing to be namespaced. Okay,
Yeah,
so.
okay.
Oh, that thing takes a bool, and I got rid of that? Sure, sorry.
Less errors. That's cool.
Yeah, oh, create expects the function. Right, of course. Unchecked handler. No, checkbox unchecked handler. Yeah. Actually, you know what? It would be more
What's that?
idiomatic to not do it that way.
Okay.
And what I really want to do is just create the checkbox and then say checkbox unchecked, like this.
Okay.
I feel like that would be much more natural and how you would
Sounds
actually
good.
write the programs.
Yeah.
So no member named unref in checkbox. Oh, okay. Well, I can fix that. Most of
I
this is
love that
just,
you know all the C++ side. I'm like, sure, sure.
yeah,
Just nodding along.
no template. Okay, I need to namespace that. Oh,
Hey. Nice.
hey. So we can actually do this.
Tempting, right?
That's so cool. I didn't think we already had enough stuff to be able to actually model this, but I guess the field inheritance, um, now we just get that because we implemented it for Jakt classes, and for extern classes, it just slips into place, right?
Yeah, all that
And
just flows through the type checker, and then when we output the code, there's no like code gen that we do, so we don't have to check. We don't have to fix anything there.
interesting. That's really nifty.
Wow, I'm
So,
excited. I want to. I'm like, oh, and then
and then what comes next? I guess
I mean, I know we're kind of short on time, but like if we wanted to sketch out what it would look like, obviously we have the big issue that you just were talking about. We've got the Yagt standard library and the original AK standard library for Serenity, and these have diverged
Yeah.
as Yacht has grown. These have diverged, unfortunately. So we kind of need to like get them back in sync.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but for simple examples, maybe there we can just do like a piecemeal, like sync AK to what Yacht needs. Like you're like this already uses a string, for example. You're saying that strings work differently between the two of them.
Right. Yeah. So we would need to do something without a string. Or what were you thinking? I'm maybe
I was
not
just kind of
following.
thinking if you wanted to adapt this to something that would actually ran in Serenity.
Yeah.
We have the issue with the standard library being out of sync.
Yeah.
We
Right.
need a way of building um, Yacht
And
projects for Serenity. That I know that someone was working on that like a month or so ago. I'm not sure if that's still like in
yeah, I
what state
know
that's in.
Andrew did some stuff with that. But yeah, I also have no idea. But I know he added like a file. It's called like hello world.yacht.
There we go.
So in theory, I don't know if that actually still builds. I think you have to
Yeah,
enable Jakt in
yeah,
the
something.
CMake something. Enable Jakt on.
Yeah, there you go.
Um, let's see. Let's figure out how this works. So enable Jakt is off by default, so I just need to build with that on. Okay. Hmm. Hmm.
Oh yeah, this may not.
Okay. I'm not super pro at CMake, so I may. Oh my goodness, it's getting rust. Okay. I think this is a little
Oh
outdated.
wow. Wow. Yeah, so maybe then this is a good kind of place to make a quick list of things that we or other folks could jump in and help out with. Uh,
Right. Well, we definitely need to update the infrastructure for adding Yakt programs to Serenity so that you can, so it knows how to build a Yakt compiler. I think that's the main issue. But even without that, I guess we could still just generate a piece of C++ and just slot it into the regular
yeah,
Serenity build system, right?
just pretend like that was C++ we built. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Can we do
In,
that?
in fact,
Like
yeah, I
in
could probably even take this quick test thing that I just built and see if we can just build that for Serenity.
uh,
See if that works. We're not going to use any fun libraries, but
right.
um,
Even a command line app that works in Serenity and uses some
yeah, let's see if we can get that working. Quick test. Um, let's see. Oh, great! Now I bungled my build a little bit by telling it to build with Yacht. How do you do this
time.
again to get rid of it? Is it you? How do you undef something? I guess
Can you say
off.
off? Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
And then I need to do it here for this build also. Uh, oh, no, it's D. Okay. All right, I think I unbungled it. All right.
Nice.
Quick test, missing lib.h. Right, so we have to tell it where that stuff is. But we can teach it where that stuff is. CMake is definitely not my strong suit. I just want to
Me
warn you.
neither. No, same. I am I'm sorely tempted. We'll see if I fall victim to this temptation, but to start thinking about what a build system might look like.
Yeah.
Because like Yacht's version of the world is not C++ version of the world, really. Even though Yacht compiles to C++, the same restrictions and that kind of stuff doesn't really apply.
Let's see. I totally do not remember how to do this. Like, I've been stuck in this comfortable world where I just need to edit, like make little edits
Right.
to CMake lists, right?
That's right. When was the last time you made a new application for Serenity?
It's been a while.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now it got confused about. That's interesting. Oh,
Fast U32
we're building with
copy.
more warnings. That's funny.
Okay.
Um, so it's just whining about stuff that for like warnings that we don't have enabled. Um, can we hack that? I wonder. Turn off the. Um, let's see. Compile flags. Because I don't want to fix all these things.
Right. And is this all in the generated? Oh, some of this is in the
It's like in our library, standard
and in
library
the
for
library
Jakt.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a little bit lazy, and we have more hardcore warnings enabled. Shoot, how do I do this?
Is there
Compile
like a yeah, what's the
options.
CMake version of wall and all of that?
Yeah, but I want to undo that. It's like add
Yeah, exactly.
compile,
Exactly. Add compile options.
like no error. Maybe I can do that. Now we're in
Okay.
that hack territory here. Come on now.
You got this. Well, that's promising.
No, it's still making mountains out of these molehills. I wanted to turn off W error, but it's not actually adding my compile flag.
Do you have to like reconfigure the CMake build to get it to do that or something?
If I knew CMake confidently, I would tell you yes or no, but I would be pretending. Um, but
Where's our resident CMake expert? Pull him into the call.
common options, common compile options. Yeah, so here, W error. Okay, I'm just gonna turn that off.
Where is dash dash YOLO? Give me YOLO mode.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is doing something different.
Yeah, I think now it rebuilds libc. It just rebuilds everything, but this particular app, the quick test app, has only libc as a dependency, so it only needs to rebuild very little. But okay, we
Nice.
built and linked it. Okay, so a little bit cumbersome, a little bit clumsy. Oh no, come on, dude.
Tell me a story.
It'll be a long story.
Oh my
um,
gosh.
okay,
Wow.
surely there's a. If I do that, then I'll get the C cache.
Does that skip the rebuild of your example too? Okay, cool.
Well,
Nice.
it will allow it to fail. So I'll get everything from C cache. This won't work, but I should be able to get a system up and copy the binary and just test it out.
Right.
This is such hacking at this point.
Uh,
There's for sure a way to do this nicely. I just not in the mood for CMake, so I'm just hacking
I
my
mean,
way around it.
I was curious. So you got I saw your SMP video, which is
Mm-hmm.
rad. So
Mm.
you can now run multi-core much more, not safely, but like it's more stable,
Yeah,
which
right.
is rad.
That was pretty cool.
I guess, yeah, I was kind of queuing up like when are we dogfooding from inside of Serenity? Like, Minus then.
You are welcome to be the first person to do it.
I'll keep that in mind.
Let's see. Userland, utilities, quick test. Okay, at this point, I'm just going to copy it into the bin directory. And because I don't want to deal with CMake right now, just make me a disk image so I can boot. In some ways, like CMake is very nice because it allows you to do very big things at scale.
Mhm.
But I sometimes feel like it just removes that hackability. Like it's so much harder to just
Yeah.
poke little dumb things into it.
I felt like makefiles, even though they were less sophisticated, I felt like I had the chance of, throwing in the extra flag here or there, or just getting it to do what I want.
Yeah. Wait, why is it trying to build that thing now? I don't understand. Now I don't even understand why it's trying to build the thing because I removed it from the thing. And now like the one person who knows CMake in the comments is going to be like, whoa, you need to invalidate the
Yeah. Well, you're
target
using
cache.
Ninja. Does Ninja call CMake for you? I guess it's rerunning CMake.
Where's it
Yeah.
getting this thing from now?
You're probably right that it is in some cache somewhere.
What if I delete it?
Oh no.
Wait, is it? Oh, maybe we are just globbing every CPP file in that directory.
Ah.
Oh, we are. Oh, look at that. Okay. I see. So every CPP file in that directory we just make a target for. Okay. Well, that explains that. Anyway, it should be available in the bin directory, so let's try it out.
Oh,
This was a real roundabout way of building that thing. But
it's
such
good
is life.
motivation for making a better build step for Serenity, or for specifically for Yuct and Serenity.
Yeah, indeed. Let's see. Quick test. Hello.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. I
So,
can barely make it out on my screen. It's pretty
oh shoot. All right, let me
small.
I mean it just says hello,
Right.
but I can still make it bigger. Let me get a real large font here. All right, there we go.
Nice. Cool.
Hello, it says. So it does work if you just build it for Serenity, which is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if we have all the build system stuff streamlined a little bit, we're not too far from actually using this to build a standalone application. The but as we were alluding to, like all of the GUI libraries and stuff, they do use strings, and it's a bit unfortunate. And maybe what we could do is we could make sort of a transparent bridge that just bridges
Mhm.
to the Serenity string type,
Right.
and instead of like forcing ourselves to like convert all of the Serenity code to support this, we could just make a bridge of some type that
Right.
does the right
That
thing
makes sense.
transparently.
I was kind of curious too. Like, we don't have to convert everything as well. If, say, in Serenity, ultimately you wanted strings to have the error checking that you were talking about,
Mm-hmm.
then maybe it makes sense to have a goal for on this kind of. I think in like the Yog side and Serenity side, which isn't really fair. It's like we're all kind of under the same umbrella.
Yeah.
But like if Serenity in the AK on the Serenity side, like that, like ultimately you wanted it to have the error checking, then you could start moving Serenity towards the implementation you did for Yogg.
Yeah, definitely. Um, and I think long term, that's the nicer approach.
Mhm.
It's just a lot of busy work,
Yeah,
and
right, right.
it's not fun or rewarding in any way. So,
I saw I saw Linus like when he saw how many changes you had done when we first announced Yogg, he's like, "Oh my." I think he knew how much work it was gonna be.
yeah. Yeah, but there are some big flaws in the Serenity string APIs, and many of the APIs have problems where they just assume things can't fail. And the string also has an awkward null state. So you can default
Mm,
construct a string and then it's a null string, which is not the same as an empty string. And we
interesting.
use it to sort of signal the absence of a string. And in Yakt, we don't have that. We just say, oh, well, optional string, right? If you want to have a
Right.
string that
Yeah.
can be empty, it's optional, which is how it should have been in Serenity. It's just this like ancient design mistake that I made in 2018. And it's propagated throughout the code base in various places where you don't think about it.
Right.
Made a lot worse by empty checking a string will implicitly also null check it. So it's sort of, in many cases, you think that you're just empty checking, but you could also be null checking. Anyway, it's like a whole
Anyway,
thing that we need to
yeah,
get rid
there's
of.
right hacks to clean up, but it's going to take a bit of time to clean those up. We can make a bridge until
I think
then.
so. Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
can make a bridge to get stuff because the problem is like if you wanted to make a window, for example, so like a GUI window,
Mhm.
it would have some API like set title,
Mhm.
which takes a string, as you might expect.
Right. Yep.
And currently, we would be unable to call this because it would, from Jakt, we would think it is wants a Jakt string, and in Serenity, it takes an ACK string, and those are not
Right.
transparently convertible. But if we make that bridge, I think with a little bit of hacks, we could get something working.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
But
cool.
no way I'm starting that now because
No, no.
it is a bit late.
Yeah, it's a bit late. It's just it's cool that I'm just like looking at this code going, I would write this. I would write an
Yeah.
app that kind of like started in this direction. And obviously, I guess ultimately in Yuct, we would just import the Serenity, GUI set of widgets, and those would do all the external classes for us. So our code would just be like an import line and then the main.
Right. Your code would look like this, right? Like import GUI. Not GitHub GUI. Something like that.
Trying to be really helpful, right?
Uh,
And then from there, bring in window and checkbox, and
yeah. And I mean, you could say that, but I think you can also do just import GUI, right? And then you get everything.
if you'd have to say GUI colon colon window GUI colon colon checkbox.
Here you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
you could
So
do that.
that would be cool. Yeah, but that's what your app should look like. That it should just
Yeah,
say import GUI, and then it would just yoink all this stuff in, and it would just work.
I mean, yeah, yay! This is cool. I'm glad. I mean, the reason I'm kind of like extra glad on top of it is when we first started designing this thing, we were shooting towards wanting to be able to write nice, clean GUI apps in this new language.
Yeah.
And we hadn't really been focusing on the GUI stuff. We've just been focusing on getting the language nice. And now that we've kind of tightening up and filling in the missing pieces, coming back and writing some of our original examples. I don't remember if you remember when like we first started working on Yacht, we were like, what does a app look like? What does this look like? And it feels like we're hitting close to where we wanted to land, which is just it's super fun. I love
Yeah,
seeing
yeah.
it.
This is very, very close. Um, so for the full app, you would need to have this ret run.
Retro.
Yeah. Application. But it's not far.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, it takes a this. The exact text of this.
Oh, yeah, yeah, you're right. Maybe even moot this. But yes,
Nice.
I think, yeah, we can basically model everything. We just need type conversion bridge and some build system magic, I think. At least
Yeah.
for this type of application. And I'm sure once we try to do something more sophisticated, then we'll hit a bunch of walls, but still.
Yeah. But things like arrays probably work a bit differently and not.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
But we can do it a little at a time, which is nice.
Yep. But I think here is a good point to sort of stop for the day. So we got the inheritance working with fields. So that was sort of the big piece of work that we've done, and then we've just been impressed with the results of our work, which is nice.
Patting ourselves on our back.
Yes, well done. Yeah, so we added the implicit constructor for subclasses where the parents have fields, and we also did field access via a child class pointer. Cool. Any last minute things that we need to do differently?
No, I think we're good. I think if folks want to jump in and help, obviously jumping in and writing samples and making sure that there aren't, uncovered cases that we need to extend. That would be a great way to kind of jump in and help out. If you find places that are missing functionality that we need, by all means. Uh, we found a few in this video, like being able to store a function in a struct and being able to call that function in a struct. Things like that to kind of help fill out the story would be great places to jump in.
Yeah, absolutely. And people are always welcome to work on the language and help move it forward. So with that, I guess we will wrap it up for the day. So thank you very much for programming with me, JT. It was
Of course.
enjoyable as always. And thank you to everybody who sat through. I don't know how long we took to find that absolutely ridiculous mistake. But yeah, it is what it is. Thanks for hanging out.
Yep.
See you all next time. Bye bye.
Bye.